And we're
All right,
alive.
we're live. We are here. We are there. We
We're
are everywhere. We're in the air and everywhere, as they used to like
in
to say.
the air everywhere. That was my favorite radio positioning statement.
In the air everywhere. He's Michael Knight, and he's down in Pasadena.
He's New York Vinnie. He's in Seattle, Washington. And together
And
we
we
do
are
Mikey and
Mikey and
Vinnie
Vinny take on the world.
on the world or what's left of it. Well,
Or
Donald
what's
Trump
left of
hasn't
the
torn
world.
down.
Now, I got to ask you, what was more heartbreaking? The loss by the Mariners to the Toronto Blue Jays for sending the Toronto Blue Jays into the World Series, or watching the Bulldozers take apart the White House
Same
yesterday?
thing. Same damn thing.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know which I'm more depressed about.
Remember, Harry Truman had to go to Congress and ask him for money to fix the White House because it was in such disrepair following World War II. And they thought about it. They said, Harry, why should we do this? Why should we fix the White House? Who's using it? We're Republicans. We don't use it. You're Democrats. Why don't you guys fix it?
Yeah, we're going to get you a rent control department.
In the Lower East Side, in Alphabet City. You want to live in Alphabet City? We got something for you down there.
Yeah, I mean, between the two of those things.
And here's a bread knife. You're going to need it.
Monday and Tuesday, I would say I'm pretty damn discouraged. How about you?
Here's something. I've been discouraged for a while. I really thought that the Mariners are going to win. That's how I felt earlier in the week. Today, the view of the Mariner fan is best example I can find of is Jim Moore, the journalist and radio commentator, who said today online, "So will the Mariners ever win the World Series?" My answer is no. Not only have they never won, but they never will. So that's what this series has done to the average Seattle Mariner fan.
Well,
the
yeah, but
baseball fan.
he's not the average Seattle fan. He's a sourpuss who
He's a Coug fan.
Tries to be a contrarian, and he's got to get clicks. So he's not going to be the same people that are saying they'll never win a World Series is next year when they wind up getting to a Game 7 again. We'll be jumping up and down saying, well, I knew it all the time. Listen, it takes time. They have the start of something here. If the people that run it make some smart moves, they can probably have a few years where they're competitive. They got a pitching staff that,
for the most part,
of experience is going to be a good thing. They got, if they would have had those pieces, the two guys that Naylor was one thing. Naylor was a great move. But Eugenio, I love to say is Eugenio Suarez should have never been offered his team.
Yeah.
He should have never been let go. So hopefully they learn their lesson.
Got a grand slam for you right here.
Yeah, hopefully the people that run this team learned their lesson. And they won't let Eugenio or a player like him go. They'll see the value in these guys, and that what this run for this team did to this town. It had been so long since they had a run like that I think a lot of people forgot what it felt like.
Sure they did. Unless you felt it, you don't know.
Yeah, so Jim Moore can go be a sourpuss all he wants and be a guy who's just
well, he's seen a lot of Seattle sports, He's seen a lot of disappointment, a lot of heartbreak.
And he's a Coug. What do you expect?
They don't always Coug it, but if they have time, they will Coug it.
If you give them enough time, they'll figure out a way to Coug it. And I like Jim. I consider him a friend, but I just, I didn't expect him to write all flowers and fauna about the team. Although I didn't read his article, but I do believe that I am surprised they didn't go after Dan Wilson. How terrible a manager he is, as some people want to do, or how many mistakes he made.
Well, what kind of manager? What manager has a recipe for settling the disaster of no hits in the last 4 innings? It's game 7. You don't hit for half the game. What's the manager supposed to do?
Yeah, you can't.
What's the solution for that?
You can't if a guy don't know how to hit by game 7 of the league championship series, he just don't know how to hit.
Well, there might be something to that. They can hit, they just don't know how.
If you grab a guy and it's July 4th and he's swinging at an outside breaking ball and missing it, then you put him in the cage with your batting coach, Edgar Martinez, and you say, Edgar, please get your tennis balls out, get your golf balls out, get whatever balls you got to get out, and show this guy how to make contact with the pitch.
How to not swing at a bad pitch, a pitch you cannot hit.
One or the other.
And there was a lot of that going on with the Mariners, swinging at pitches that they could not hit. Everybody, Cal, everybody.
Yeah, I mean, they were clearly. They clearly had first-time-itis. They clearly had tight buttholes. They clearly did not let the game come to them. They were trying to force something to happen. And when you try to force something to happen, that can be a result.
I felt like I was bending over reaching for a pitch that was coming in next week. Yeah, that's how you look, too. That's exactly how you look. You were pitching. You were swinging at a pitch that nobody on this planet could hit. Oh, what fun!
But it was great while it lasted. It gave Mariner fans something to complain, something to complain about. I mean, if they would have won the World, if they would have got to the World Series, what could have a typical Mariner fan complained about this morning?
The Dodgers.
The hot dogs falling out of the sky. That's all you would have had to complain about. So at least they have something to complain about. I think this team will be back next year. I think there's been a change of guard in the American League West. I don't think the Astros are the team they used to be, and it might take them a couple of years to get back to being the team that they used to be.
Well, look at all the teams that we saw in postseason. Think the Yankees will be back? They do. They think they're going to be back.
Well, yeah, the Yankees know they're going to be back.
You think the Phillies will be back? The Phillies believe that they will be back.
Yeah. Well, I think the Mariners do too. I mean, I think that the Mariners believe that which is rare here in Seattle, believe that they
got something.
They got something. That they have a good place and something to build off of. Now, the ownership has to do their job. The ownership has to say, you go out and get what players you need. You don't go spending, Soto money. We don't have that kind of money. But look for the guys on the market that you think is going to help this team get to the next level, which is it's a good thing when the next level is the World Series.
What would you focus on for acquisition or retaining?
I think they need. I think they got pitching. I know that their pitching didn't come through like they thought it was going to. Their starting pitching didn't come through like they thought it was going to. But I think you had a combination of injuries and tired arms and a few
long games
going on. So.
Lots of innings.
Yeah. So you have to, you got to figure that another year of experience for the pitching staff, not just the starters. You lost Brian Wu for a considerable part of the season. He was a big part of your plans. I think I think you have. I think you got 4 at least, and maybe 5 pretty decent pitchers. Now, how are those pitchers gonna play out over the winter, I think they'll be all right. I think there's still enough youth there.
Well, it
Maybe
depends how they perform. Like the Dodgers didn't have this type of performance from their starting pitchers all season long. They did not. They did not have this type of performance from their bullpen, but they have it now, and that
right.
gives me the chills.
And what is it? What is it that does that to people? What is it that? What is it that keeps those pitchers in that groove?
Talent, God-given talent.
Talent, experience.
Yeah.
Knowing the mistakes you made the first time so you don't repeat them the second time. I'm sure there was mistakes made.
And it's funny how you get to this level of production in baseball, and you still find a pitcher that can't throw a strike. What the hell are you doing? You're going to walk the leadoff man? You're going to walk the second man? You're going to walk in a run in the playoff game? It happened.
Nothing that breaks your heart more than bringing a guy in and he gives up a home run to the first batter he faces. There's nothing that breaks a heart.
That breaks the ice. What do you want to talk about? Nothing.
This
Scenario.
run they had, a guy that's normally a good pitcher, Bizzardo, a shutdown middle reliever, all of a sudden, boom, he comes in and he throws him the wrong pitch.
Plus, after you've seen him shut you down 3 times, the 4th time you have an idea what you're going to get. You feel like you're equal to the task. Yeah, you're Bizzardo, you're great, but I've seen you 3 times now.
Yeah. But we saw their pitches 3 times too.
A lot of walking away from home plate with a bat in your hand.
Yeah. It is, it is funny that they, people forget that this is a team, the Mariners, are a team that had trouble scoring runs a lot of times during the season. They're pitching that they probably would have had. I could go back and look and probably pick out 10 wins or 10 losses should have been wins just on the basis of them getting a key hit. How many times did they leave the bases loaded throughout the season? How many?
Same thing in the playoffs, Ben. We would clear the bases with hitting a new double play, and they would hit a single up the middle or a walk or something ghastly. But if they got men on, they brought them in. Somebody scored.
I don't want to say it's inexperience because the Blue Jays are probably just as inexperienced as the Mariners.
They hadn't won since what, 92?
Yeah,
97?
I forget how many years it's been since they even had let's see. They met the Mariners in the playoffs a couple of years ago, and the Mariners beat them. But they hadn't advanced far, certainly not to the ALCS, for quite a few years.
It's true.
And so, hopefully the experience will give, I look at the Mariners like I looked at the Mets in 84 and 85.
What did you see?
I saw a great pitching staff. I saw a bunch of solid starters, 4 solid starters. But I saw a team that also needed a little bit more to improve themselves. So they made a trade. They brought in a Ron Darling.
Hell of an acquisition.
Yeah, they brought in, they had Hernandez, they had Carter, they brought in a Ray Knight,
who was had a part to play later in the season.
Right, who were proven winners. They opened up their pocketbook and they brought in proven winners, not guys that they were taking a chance on. And that's what I'd like to see out of the Mariners ownership this offseason, is going out and getting a couple of guys that you don't have to take a chance on. that they're
Outfielders.
proven winners. They're good contact hitters. They're hitters that can hit in that ballpark. I think you got pitching. I think you
But you
have.
got to keep. You got to keep it.
You got to keep it. You may have to lose one, but you probably got a couple of guys down on the farm that are coming up.
You have to take their place.
I mean, you think about it. They didn't give up a lot to acquire Eugenio and Naylor at the trading deadline. I didn't give a lot up for them at all. And I'll tell you what, man, I signed Naylor. I don't know what it's going to take to sign him, but he's my. You know what he is, Michael?
He's a producer.
Naylor
He's
is
a guy.
Clarence Clemens.
Yeah.
Naylor
Big
is
man.
Clarence Clemens. He's that big, beautiful presence on the stage that's going to do some wacky things. It's going to call, you're going to pay attention to him. He don't have any problem coming out in bedazzled sneakers.
No.
He
They
has
look
a
good
little
on.
spice to it.
They look good on him.
That's who he reminded me. It reminded me of Clarence Clemens with Bruce, man. He was the big part of the show. And you need a guy. I think you need a guy like that on this team. I think you need a guy.
Not crazy flash.
Yeah.
He's not Deion Sanders, but he's got his own deal.
But he brings a little bit of swag. And if there's one thing that I saw from the Mariners that I did like, is they didn't seem to have a lot of swag. The Mariners really have never had a lot of swag.
They went to the long face, and we're getting beat again. Look, way too early in the game.
Last time I think this club had a lot of swag is when Mike Cameron was here. Or when Griffey came back. Griffey brought the swag. And when you have that, you put a little bit, and we've talked about this for years, you put a little bit of fear into the opposing team. You put a little, you just plant the seed of question. What is this guy going to do? Can he back up his swag? And I like to see that from the Mariners. Not outrageous. You don't have to be Vladimir Guerrero, like looking in the dugout and clapping when you hit a home run. You don't have to be classless. But I like the idea that Naylor was out there acting like he was stealing signs, putting his arms out and touching his head and everything. He put a little seed in their head. He got into their heads.
Plus, he can hit.
Yeah. Plus, he's a monster. He's a huge guy, man. He's a baby Huey.
You lose your concentration, he'll knock one right by you.
And that's what you want. You want a guy that makes the other team get a little rattled. And I love the guy, man. I'd take him out to dinner and sign him as soon as I could.
So are both Naylor and Eugenio Suarez through after this year on paper?
And I think they're both free agents at the end of the year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, they're finished. Okay.
Yeah, I think so. I think you got to see.
Couldn't have won it without both of them.
Yeah.
Couldn't have gotten that far without both of them.
No, you wouldn't have gotten as far as you did without both of them. They brought swagger. They brought a bat. They brought, Naylor definitely much more than Suarez. Suarez was kind of quiet, but he got some key hits.
Well, you can just say we need a grand slam, and the average Seattle team would say, "Oh, that's not our game. No, we can't do that."
Well, but the Mariners, I forget exactly the number, but most of the Mariners' runs were scored as a result of home runs.
Lots of dingers.
So they have to be able to fill some of those spaces in with some contact hitters, with some gap hitters. They need some John Oleroods. They need some contact hitters. Guys can make contact with the ball and move runners over and drive runners in. You should never have 2 innings in a playoff where you go with bases loaded and nobody out, or bases loaded and one, and not score a run.
Not even get close to one.
That shouldn't even that shouldn't happen. I know it will, but boy, oh boy, it shouldn't happen. I think, I think my report card on Dan Wilson was as a really a first full year manager. I think he was a A minus.
That's what I would give him. You can't give him a straight A if he loses.
You had Cal Raleigh, who put the, I remember when
the fear of Mickey Mantle in the whole league.
Right. Well, when we were on KJR, I remember I used to say the one thing that I didn't like about the Mariners, and I even said it after when I went over to Cairo, the one thing I didn't like about the Mariners is you didn't have a pitcher once Griffey left that put fear into a pitcher's heart. That put that I don't want to face this guy. Cal Raleigh this year put fear into the heart of pitchers. You didn't want to face this guy. You were looking, when he came up to the plate, you had 2 runners on, you were looking into the dugout. Come get me.
Come get me. I don't want to be out here. Why don't you come get me?
Come get me. Come get me, please.
Bring in Joe Pignatano. I don't want this.
Yeah, where's Piggy? Send Piggy out to get me. He's out watering his plants.
He's doing his tomatoes. You know where he is. Right. It's the 3rd inning. You know where he is. He's with his tomatoes.
And the Mariners ownership group is going to have to come up with some money to sign, to get a couple of quality players, not other teams' rejects, or not trading at the trading deadline for players that, Bobby Valentine used to say it all the time. When you go to 7-Eleven, getting players at the trading deadline is like buying a quart of milk at 7-Eleven. If you buy it in the supermarket at 10 o'clock in the morning, you pay 29 cents. If you buy it at 7-Eleven at 10 o'clock at night on your way home, because honey told you to bring home some milk, you're paying $2.29. And you'll gladly pay it because you don't want to go home with no milk.
Can't go home empty-handed. Can't show up with no milk.
Don't show up with no milk. This team, it would be nice to see this team make an impact signing and not just live on the laurels of what they did, because a month from now, not many people are going to remember what they did.
Because, of course, the Sonics are in town, and that's what everyone's thinking about. Oh, wait.
No. Yeah, I think they'll be, well, they keep teasing. They keep teasing about the Sonics, Michael. They keep Adam Silver, the illegitimate son of the former commissioner of basketball, decided to float Seattle's name out there. I don't know. I don't see them. I don't see them giving Seattle a franchise.
I don't see the NBA expanding. They don't need more teams. They probably need to lose a couple, increase their competition level.
I don't know if I see it. I don't want to break people's hearts that are on the Sonics bandwagon, but
it's not their fault one way or the other how we feel. But the NBA doesn't need Seattle. It's gotten along very well without it. It's a damn shame. It's a travesty, but it's a fact.
It has. It's gotten along. I mean, if the NBA was that interested in Seattle,
they would have fixed it a long time ago.
They would have sent the Kings up here years ago. I mean, what would you rather have, Seattle or Sacramento? Seattle with Microsoft money and all the money that's up here, or Would you
Second
rather
to
have
me, it is.
Sacramento with the government workers? I
Second to
mean,
me,
not
it is.
that
Second
these
to me.
government workers, they're enjoying a nice vacation now.
But Sacramento is really a part of the San Francisco market. For those who know, you don't get Sacramento all to yourself. You have to share it with the Giants and the 49ers and the Warriors and everybody else.
Right. What are the A's doing? I mean, the A's were there this year, and I don't know. I don't think they were selling out games.
They wouldn't even put Sacramento on their shirts.
Yeah, now this year they'll have a Sacramento shirt, but they wouldn't. You're right. They wouldn't put Sacramento on their shirts. That's for Major League Baseball to allow that to exist is just crazy. But they are.
Take their eye off the ball.
And we're learning, and we've learned that the
Yes.
average league doesn't care what the sports fan thinks.
No.
They'll do what they want and go from there, because they know that the average sports fan is going to still fork over the money because, as I've said all along, sports is an addiction. Sports is something that it's hard to withdraw from. Everybody says, I'm going to shut off the TV. I'm not going to follow that team anymore.
Those bums. I'm never gonna follow the Dodgers again.
But it's bogus. As soon as something exciting happens, as soon as Charlie at work tells you that something exciting happened with the Dodgers last night, you're running to the ESPN to turn it on to see what happened.
I hate those teams. It doesn't say Brooklyn. No, it says LA. But look, the uniforms are the same. When you replay it, just take a look. That's still your team. Nah, I hate the Dodgers. I'm never going to follow them again. Your dad was true to his.
My dad was true to his word. My dad, he stuck to it. He didn't want any part of the Dodgers. He didn't want any part of really for a long time. He took me to games because he knew he wanted me to have the experience, but he didn't want any part of baseball.
Hmm.
He really he took it personally. People in Brooklyn take stuff like that personally.
It's that kind of down. They should have known that when they left.
Yeah, and he just says there was no reason for them to leave. There was people going to the stadium.
They had a dump of a field, but there was charm to it.
They were gonna get a new, they were gonna build a new stadium. They had it set up. The only problem was Robert Moses, and they were gonna work something out that he was gonna get what he wanted, and they were gonna get what they wanted, which was a new stadium on Atlantic Avenue and Flatbush Avenue in Brooklyn.
Flatbush,
right downtown Brooklyn.
That's how you win ball games. Play on Flatbush.
And interestingly enough, it would have been a stadium with a retractable roof.
Oh, breaking
the
mold.
About that in 1955. So, I don't know. But listen, LA was going to give Walter O'Malley what New York wasn't, and that is a piece of downtown.
Yeah, just fly over and pick a spot. That looks nice over there. All right, that's yours.
Yeah, what do you got over there? Nothing. What do you got? Few families living there with a park.
We'll create the curse of Chavez Ravine.
And then they went and they did the same thing in San Francisco. Although the spot that they picked out for a stadium was
picked out by someone for shit for brains. Who among our staff has got shit for brains? So this guy over here looks like he's got shit for brains. Let him pick the spot.
Get Harney in here. He'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I got this piece of land that I'm looking to sell down on Point Candlestick. Anybody wanna use that for a ballpark? Oh, yeah, we will.
Hunter's Point.
We'll be happy to use it.
So
we call it Candlestick Park. So So that's, I mean,
It
that's
turned out to be a hellish place for the Giants, but a great place for the 49ers. Who'd have guessed? Who'd have thunk?
well, and why was that? Because when is the nicest weather in San Francisco?
The fall. Right now.
Right now, the most beautiful weather in San Francisco is right now. Mid-September to early November. It was built for postseason play.
So I got a wife with a new knee, a titanium knee.
And how is she enjoying her new knee?
And Kristen is healing very well. The problem is not her, it's the cats. They know something's up. So they're going crazy. If we bring both cats into the bedroom, one stands on the nighttime table and knocks Kristen's books off. So that cat has to go out. But then the other cat says, I want to be with my brother. So he goes out. But that's the cat, Tomas, with the polydactyl cat. They can open the door to the living room. And he lets them both in, and we start all over again. So you got to separate them. Puna goes outside, Tomas stays inside. Never the twain shall meet. Except Puna says, I gotta use the cat box, let me in. So I let him in. Now this is 2:00 in the morning. We've been up 3 times already. 4 times, 5 times. Separate them, get them together. If you put Tomas in the living room with Puna, because you want them all both out of the bedroom, Tomas can open the door. He lets them both in. And we're right back where we start. So Puna's got to go to the living room with his big polydactyl claws. It's a sliding door, and he pulls it open.
Oh.
And that's what I went through last night till close to 4 or 5 o'clock.
So you're running on like 2 hours.
Yeah, and not consecutive. So the cats, by the way, are on the bed right now, asleep in my spot, the warm spot that I left.
Well, that's kind of a victory dance for them, isn't it? I mean, they threw you out of your bed, they didn't let you sleep, and now they're sleeping and relaxing quietly.
And guess who had to take time out of his torturous night to feed them?
Cannot your lovely daughter maybe take the cats for a couple of days?
She's got a dog and a cat of her own. No, they don't need to. They don't need a cat.
Well, I tell you to send them up put them in a box and send them up here, but they might like the terrace.
Well, they said, "Where's Vinnie?" It was one of their questions last night. Hey, where's Vinnie? I haven't talked to him in a while. He'll be here tomorrow morning.
But they, they'd have to realize that I'm a heavy sleeper, so they could jump around, they could bang around, they could open doors, close doors, open cabinets, close cabinets. I got a sleep apnea machine going, and I got World War II movies going. So between the two, I'm not hearing anything.
The Battle of the Bulge with 2 cats. Now,
yeah, I watched the Flying Leathernecks last night.
The flying, and were they flying?
Yes, they really fly. Robert Ryan and John Wayne.
And a leatherneck is a Marine.
Cast of hundreds. And they were taking out Japanese.
Robert Ryan would be a flying Marine, wouldn't he?
He was taking out and he had a contentious relationship with John Wayne.
Pretty hard to believe.
Many people, as I've noticed in those movies, I don't know where John Wayne got this hero thing. Most of the people that I've seen in the John Wayne movies don't like him.
Don't like him, never liked him, never going to like him.
At the end of him, they kind of
reluctantly admire him.
Reluctantly say he's a good guy, but
they don't believe it.
I don't get this feeling that they like the guy. You almost feel sorry for him. That, here's John Wayne. He's supposed to be this big hero. He's supposed to be this guy that
nobody likes him. Everybody picks on him.
But everybody's kind of down on John Wayne.
John Wayne is the officer that has to say that's an order because you weren't doing it anyway.
And that's
That's
an
in
order.
order.
When I say right away, I mean right away. Pilgrim. It's a bad John Wayne. Used to be a lot of people. Everybody could do a John Wayne, Now everybody does Christopher Walken. But back in the day, everybody did John Wayne.
And guy from Harvey and Mr. Smith Goes to Washington.
Oh, Jimmy Stewart.
Thank you.
Yeah, or John Kennedy. Not the new John Kennedy, the old John Kennedy. John F. Kennedy, who should be sued by the Kennedy family for using that name.
What a mess we live in.
Oh, it's not a mess. It'll all be solved in 3 years.
I wonder if we'll have a Justice Department or a Department of Education ever again.
I'm wondering if we're going to have a country ever again. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced that given 3 years that we'll be able to survive what's going on. Although,
will they ever start the government up again?
Well, yeah, you'd think they would have it started up by now, but it doesn't seem like anybody's in much of a hurry to get it going.
As much as I hate Donald Trump, and I don't mean to say that in a cavalier way, I really do dislike him personally. Mike Johnson is the nebbish that I really can't stand.
Yeah, he's a
smarmy little. He's a little shit. Smarmy little shit.
I never thought we'd get to a place where I'd say that. Boy, I tell you, I thought we had it bad with Kevin McCarthy, but this guy Mike Johnson is just he's unbelievable.
Plus, where did the Republicans get the balls to say, "Hey, you guys are Democrats. We're not swearing you in. You're not going to ever serve. You got elected. Good. That's really fantastic. We're happy for you. I'm not swearing you in. You're not part of the game. You're not representing Arizona. You don't represent anybody."
When did we start running the country like a dictatorship? January 20th, 2020.
Yeah, we got the date. We got the date. I can tell you when. I can tell you where I was.
I mean, that's the thing. I mean, no matter what side you're on, as far as you think this, you think that, you think this, you think that. I don't know how. I don't know how you pull out of this.
It's like asking the pilot to pull out of a nosedive. Why didn't you pull out? You don't understand what planes are like when they're going nose down.
Well,
there's no pulling out.
The steering came out here. It's like when the Three Stooges are in that one about they invented a plane, and Curly's flying the plane, and Mo tells him to bank left, and he pulls the thing out and hands him the steering wheel and says, "You do it."
I can't, Mo. Hey, Mo. Hey, Larry. Hey, Mo.
Or the best one I always like is when Larry hollers at Curly, who's driving the car, "Throw out the clutch." Yep. He reaches down and he pulls the clutch pedal up and throws it out.
We're going to need that. But why'd you?
I mean, we're in that kind of situation that there's people that are, there's people that still believe in him. No, I'm not sure.
What does Professor Owen Corey say behind you?
That's those who move rapidly must do so slowly.
There you go. That's the professor.
That's the professor that we know and love, Professor Owen Corey, one of his great quotes. Those who move rapidly those who move quickly must do so slowly. Kind of explains the whole thing, doesn't it? For many things.
How did we get here in such a hurry? Well, we were moving slowly and we just never stopped.
It's yeah, we could use a Professor Irwin Corey right now, if nothing else, but to appear on
Analyze.
late night television.
That was his thing anyway. Although I enjoyed having him on my show at the city.
He was a great guy. I got a friend of mine that kind of looks like Irwin Corey. On Halloween, I tell him to dress up with an overcoat and grab
A
himself
long
a hat,
tie.
kind of look the part, and he kind of looks like JD, looks like Professor Irwin Corey. I never forget some of the best in 72 or 76. I can't remember. I think it was 76. They had Professor Irwin Corey doing the election results on WNEW FM.
AM or FM? FM.
FM. And it was the best because you made no sense out of it. And he made no sense out of telling you what was going on.
The world's foremost authority.
The world's foremost authority, and he doesn't know anything about what's going on, but he's telling you.
I'll tell you.
And you really had to check the papers when he said that Carter had won. I mean, you really had to.
That can't be right.
Know if he was telling you the truth or not. But he did. And it didn't make any improvement on the country, unfortunately.
I forgot who won. Did Seattle win their game? The Seahawks?
Yes, the Seahawks won.
Good. Well, that's something.
Yeah. We can hang on to that. And
how can you hang on to a dream? They ask.
Yeah. Seahawks got a chance to be something this year. They they still have some holes here and there, offensive line, but I'll tell you what, Sam Darnold, man,
he's the real deal.
It's just such a pleasure to see a quarterback in the late innings, in the late moments of a game, not chuck the ball away to somebody. I mean, it's really.
Meanwhile, Gino in Las Vegas is having a very rough ride.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like Pete Carroll is long for that situation.
Not when you got Max Crosby saying one thing and the team saying another.
Yeah, to see that should have been Pete. I don't know. I like Pete. I wish he wouldn't have left here, but it was time for a change. And I wish Pete would have gone like quietly off to the sunset and come over to Seahawks Stadium on Sundays and
ring the gong,
watch the game, sat around and told football stories,
chew bubble gum,
chew his gum, and have a Pete Carroll show on one of the sports radio stations.
That would be good, actually.
And instead, he decided, well, I'm not done yet. I don't know why he had to prove something to somebody, but he did. He felt like he.
Like he still had it.
It's just got. It's just stunted the growth of the Raiders for another year. Not that I care.
No.
But
sometimes you wonder if they care. They put together a team that feeds on itself.
Al would never stand for this.
He was not a tolerant, easygoing fellow. He made that team work. You're all a bunch of hooligans and criminals. You'll do what I say.
Yeah, I mean, Al had the idea that the team needed discipline and they needed to show up and be on time and make the plays.
They don't have guys like Kenny Stabler.
Somebody else did.
We need Kenny Stabler and we need the Galloping Ghosts.
Yeah, we need somebody, but it just doesn't But it's funny. I saw the Giants are finalizing a deal to name Tony Vitello
Yeah.
as their next manager.
Tennessee, University of Tennessee.
Tennessee baseball coach. What do
He
you
went
think of that?
outside. He went outside the box. I'm okay with that. He may be a college coach, but he knows how to win.
Who did he have? Oh no, that was Vanderbilt that had Jose Cruz Jr. as running the team down there, I believe, and then he got in some kind of trouble or something. I don't know exactly what the whole story is.
NCAA regulations.
Yes, some kind of recruiting stuff. I mean, I didn't look into. I was too busy. I can only handle one story at a time these days. Let's see. We got some people that are listening here. James, nice that you're listening, James. Nice to see you guys. You remember the old KJR days? What happened to Mitch? Mitch has got a show that broadcasts every day on X. Almost said Twitter. So great season. Cal Raleigh had a historic season. Dan Wilson did a great job. Cheers. Thank you for listening, James. We're here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday.
And James is right about that.
What, that the Mariners need more bats?
That it was a great season.
It
hurts
was.
like hell. It hurt like to lose like that. It just hurts. That's Detroit. That's Philadelphia. But
Last day of the season sucked. But other than that,
it was something.
We were involved. You saw bus drivers and waiters and everybody wearing Mariners jerseys. You saw people interested in this team again.
And now you know why the Mariners had never been to the World Series. It ain't easy. It ain't easy getting there. It is not an easy place to go.
Yeah, if you don't know why, just look at the whole season. You got to do a lot of stuff right to get there. And over 162 games, it's hard to do a lot of stuff right. You know, if the season was 80 games,
different.
Well, and you could probably do a lot of stuff right. But 162.
Here's a good example of what happens in 162 games. The Los Angeles Dodgers, which are clearly the favorite over the Blue Jays, had $100 million on the injury list early in the season. $100 million in salaries, not working for that team, sitting around in their street clothes, nursing their injuries early in the season. Most of it on the pitching staff. That's what can happen in a long season of baseball.
Yeah. And unlike other teams, you can't, unlike other sports, you can't get rid of that money. That money stays with you. You got to pay that money.
You got to pay them. Maybe they can't pitch, but they can limp up to the pay window and get their check.
Right. They can see the man, Sally. Jim Palazzo has checked in with us. He says it's going to be up to the Seattle Mariners ownership group. Will they finally invest in our team? Need at least 2 upgrades in the everyday lineup. Go Mariners. Yeah.
He's right about that.
Yeah.
He's right to worry. So historically, that's not been the case.
Well, yeah, that's what the ownership is going to have to figure out. Are they gonna come up with the money to sign the players that they need
just to maintain?
Sign? And are those players available? You know, is there improvements over what they got? I mean, you're going to build a team around your pitching staff, Julio Rodriguez, Cal Raleigh, and going up that way. So you have, J.P. Crawford. I don't know. He's with the club. He's the longest tenured guy. I think he's with the club 10 years. I would start to think that shortstops maybe start to break down a little bit in 10 years. If you like Suarez, you got first solved. If you like home If you like first base, Naylor, you got first base solved. Can you get a second baseman that hits a little better? That's can you get the lucky thing is they probably the players that they need are corner position players.
Up the middle.
That they're pretty well, they could use a better hitting second baseman. Although Polanco turned out to be money for them in the postseason for a certain amount of time. Then he went cold in the second half of the postseason.
So did Shohei Ohtani for a couple games.
Yeah.
Guys get chilly.
Guys get cold. But the trick is telling the guys it'll get hot in the postseason.
Well, the 5 through 9 hitters in Blue Jays territory were the ones that killed us.
Yeah.
The bottom of the order, we couldn't get the bottom of the order out.
Well, yeah, they had a good assist. That was another thing. Now that you take me back there, didn't you think George Springer was the MVP of the series?
Yeah, he had a pretty impressive bat.
Why did they give it to Vladimir Guerrero?
Because his home run maybe was more memorable. I don't know.
I just thought I thought that Springer should have got that award.
Who voted on that?
I don't know who votes on that. I thought it was the writers. The ML. What do you call it? Baseball Writers Association of America writers, but I'm not sure. But I certainly thought that George Springer just got a bunch of key hits at the right time.
He's a part of the life of that team as well.
And he was in Houston when he was there too. I mean, people forget that he came over from he was a huge deal in Houston. He was a huge part of their success. They haven't had the success that they had since he left.
What about Mad Max? Scherzer, what a character.
I don't agree with that. I think when your manager goes out there to yank you,
he didn't yank him.
66, and
all he had to do was say, "Give me the ball," but he didn't.
Well, it's never a good thing as a manager to have a player that shows you up.
In such a way.
I thought it was unprofessional.
Well, he put his money where his mouth was.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm enthralled with Max Scherzer as a player. I mean, we've talked about him before. He's got that look of an all-time ball player.
He looks like Warren Spahn.
Yeah, he's got
Warren Spahn and Jimmy Pearsall.
Yeah, he's got that look. At any moment, he could, throw a bat at you or run around the bases the wrong way. He's just got that cockeyed kind of strange look.
Cockeyed, I like that.
It looks like he could do somebody bodily harm at any moment. That's what
in his own dugout.
And he has the goods to back it up. I was always taught that the manager comes out to get you, you go.
Goodbye.
He's running the game.
And you're taking a shower.
You don't come screaming and crying and hollering and telling the manager on national TV, I'm not going to come out. But maybe that's an agreement that they had. Maybe they talked about it before. And it says, if I come out to get you,
tell me how you feel.
Like you're ready to go. Just say it.
Let me know.
Let me know. And it was said. And
You know how you feel. Tell me how you feel.
yeah, I think you're right. Turn around and walk back. I couldn't imagine somebody doing that to Pinella.
That would be he would come away with the ball. You might not be with the team any longer, but he would have the ball.
He'd knock him right off the mound. Pow!
You must think I come out here to talk to you. I didn't come out here to talk to you. I come out here to change pictures.
Right, I didn't walk out here. I had a nice, comfortable seat. I didn't walk out here because I want to see how Max freaking Scherzer is doing.
I can call you at home and talk to you then. I don't want to talk to you.
That would have been worth paying the price of admission to see. Just Pinella, just boom. Good night, Max.
Vinnie, I will see you on the Freaky Fractious Friday.
Yeah, one more here, Michael. Mike Bearer.
Hey, Mike.
Makes a good point that the Red Sox came up short before they finally broke it. Yeah, Red Sox came up short many a year.
It even happened to the Cubs.
Broke through.
Right.
And they had great teams.
And they didn't have a bad team when they lost to the Yankees, but they lost.
Yeah, they always had great teams. They always had Yastrzemski and just Rice and Freddie Lynn and you go through all of those players that they had on that team, and there was always this assortment of unbelievable talent,
but no rings.
But no rings to show for it until, what was it, 2007, 2013? I forget now. I think it was 2013, if I'm not mistaken. It's
hard to beat it's hard to beat a curse.
Yeah, it takes time.
It takes time for the curse to wear out. How's your curse going? Oh, the curse. It's feeling strong today.
Well, Mariner fans, hang in there. I would rather think that this is more the start of something than it is the finish of something.
Good point, Vinnie. Good point.
I'd rather think that we have seen an overturning of the power structure in the American League West.
Exactly right.
And that it won't take too much to keep the Mariners on top for a couple of years. And it'll take more brains than money. So
yeah, I like that.
I hope that they, that when they have their meetings, they sit down in the little room and they talk to each other and they say, let's give the people what they want.
Let's commit to winning.
Let's commit to winning. No more of these bullshit press conferences where they come out and say, well, we're only worried about winning 52% of the time because people will show up.
For the hot dog
you know what? That don't fly. We want to win 100% of the time. The reason that we drive to Arizona in February, when we look through that windshield, all we see is World Series. From the moment we get there until the last day of October, all we see, all we think about, all we live, breathe, and fart is World Series.
It's a tough, exacting equation. Either win it or you don't.
Yeah, and we're going to do it. And we're going to do what it takes to do it.
You can do it, or you can play my hit, or you can play it. You can play it, or you can play it.
Yeah, and we have a lot of the pieces here. Maybe we need a couple of more pieces. We're going to go get those pieces, and we're going to give Seattle a ball club for the next few years. We don't know how long we can sustain it, but for the next few years, we're going to give people a goddamn good reason to come down and pay $125 for parking.
It's a lot of money for a parking spot.
$125 is what season tickets used to cost for the Mets in 1964. You could buy a Loge season ticket for $125.
Can you bring your own beer and sandwiches?
No, you had to ask Harry for a beer.
Here I am.
Harry M would give you a beer in a brown paper cup.
Wax cup. You don't put beer in a wax cup. Well, that's what we have. So
Don't
do you
tell
want
that
it
to
or not?
Harry.
Yeah. Harry don't want to hear that.
Don't tell that to Harry. Harry says beer goes in a cup, and then the cup has wax on it. It gives it that extra hard brewed taste.
It ain't a New York beer without wax on the cup.
My beer is Rangold, the wax beer. Look for Rangold.
Okay, Vin. I'll see you on the
Friday.
Freaky Friday.
See you Friday, man. For Lord's willing, the creek don't rise.
The creek could rise.
It could, but I'm hoping that it won't. Peace, love. Thank you, Mariners and Manischewitz.
It was a great season.
Great season. All right. See you
you
Friday, Mikey. See all of you Friday, too. Back here on Mikey and Vinnie. Take on the world.
That's
We
the
take it
world.
on,
Thank
so
you.
You don't have to.
Thanks for the folks who called in to commentate.
Yeah. Open to government. See you later.